Hey y'all, Matt with Wacky Works here. I recently had a question from a viewer. Asked me why that we cut cutting boards or tabletops into smaller sections. And I tried to explain how we cut if you're going to use in grain or side grain wood on tabletops, why you cut a, like, say a 2x8, you'd cut it into 2 to 3 different sections long ways, so that, and then glue it back together with the grain being flipped. And I tried to explain this to him, and maybe I wasn't as clear as I possibly could be by articulating it, so I'm going to kind of show it with a cutting board. I got some sapele. I'm fixing to make a cutting board for it, and I'm going to show the grain of how it is and how that grain orientation would cause it to move. So you think about a cutting board, and you're going to have cutting boards that are, you're moistening them and drying them and moistening them and drying them, and that's going to cause that grain to move. And so I'm going to show how we cut that so that it doesn't do that. And you can think about this in the lines of tabletops as well. Say you just wanted to do a tabletop for your house or for your shop, and you wanted to lay out 2x8s, and you wanted to glue them together the long way, so your 8 is going this way and your 1.5 inches is this way, and you're gluing them together. Well, if you do that, what's possibly going to happen, because of moisture in the air, humidity, or moisture that gets onto it, it's going to cause that board to cup, and it cups in the way of the grain. And I'll show that on the sapele piece here I just got cut out. And and that's that cupping that you get that causes it to move. And so a way, it's not guaranteed, but a way to help combat that is you cut it into strips, and then you flip the grain so that it's not continuous, that continuous arch that you see in a grain. It's not continuous. You cut it and you flip it, so now your grains are going back and forth, and it causes it not to be able to move in a big fashion like it does. It's still going to move, but it's going to move in a much slower fashion, and you're able to combat that. And if you do it small enough, you won't be able to see it. So I'll show this on this sapele right now. So hold on. So this here is sapele, and this is the end grain of it here. So you think about your tree, the center of your tree would be over in here somewhere, okay? And so you look at your rings that you see, which is your grain, comes around like this. So there's your grain, okay? So you think about that, and you think of when you cut a tree, it's made to form around that circle, okay? And it's staying tight. So when you cut it loose and you wet and dry, it's going to want to fold back into that same position. So the way to combat that would be you cut this here into sections. Yeah. Cut it into sections, and then you would flip this grain, so now it's running this way, and now this one, instead of running this way, you make it run this way, and then back this way, and back this way. And what that does is that combats it from wanting to flip or wanting to bend or bow like we see so many times from the big box stores, 2x4s. And so it's just a way to combat that. So I'm just doing this video real quick, like just to show you how that happens. And the best way I know to combat that is to stop that grain from being a continuous arch like this, is to flip this, and you would think about this grain now would go this way. And then this one would go back this way and back this way. And so you're combating that and not allowing this, because it's not going to want to move in this short period of time, this short distance, where it would over all this it would cup. Okay, so I hope that explains it. If I can explain it better, please ask me a question down below, and I'll try to best describe it as I can. And if not, shoot out another video about it. But there you go. That's the best way I can explain it right now. So I hope that answers your questions. And I know there's like one or two people that I'm putting this towards, but hopefully that helps anybody else. If you have any questions, like I said, drop them down below. If you like this kind of stuff, let me know. I can start doing a lot more of it. If you like it, like, comment, and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Helps out the channel a lot. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.